In this section, we are going to talk about container vulnerability assessment and few of the tools we can leverage. With that, let's get started. And the first thing we are going to talk is about the learning objectives of this section. So the first thing we are going to understand is why vulnerability assessment is very crucial when you're using Docker. So after that, we are going to run few labs where we are going to run a few tools and observe the results they generate. They're all open source tools. So here are some of the key advantages of vulnerability assessments. So the first thing they're going to help you is to identify the threats and the risk associated with these threats, okay? So here are some of the key advantages of vulnerability assessments. So the first thing is they're going to help you identify the threats and the risk associated with those threats as well. And then it is also going to help classify the vulnerability type based on the threats and the vulnerability that occur. So it is also eventually going to help fix all of these issues as well. So now let us segregate or classify based on the vulnerability type, that is operating system level vulnerability and non-operating system level vulnerability as well. So in the operating system level vulnerability, okay, you have vulnerable packages that you might want to update or even remove as well. Or in the non-operating system level, you have vulnerable libraries that you might want to update, and also security misconfigurations when you're running your Docker containers. So some of these tools also help you prioritize these vulnerabilities based on the risk. So they are going to give you a risk score, something like that, like critical, high, medium. You have high, medium, low info and so on and so forth. So using this, you can go ahead and start fixing the high severity issues that occur first, okay? So these tools, they also provide remediations, recommendations, and sometimes these recommendations are to update your packages or libraries. And some other times they can be a lot more detailed and can help you fix all of these issues as well. Finally, they do provide vulnerability reports. So one of the key issues that you will run into is when you are running multiple tools, it is going to end up being buried in all of these reports. So one of the key issues, okay, that you will run into is when you are running multiple tools, you're going to end up having all of these reports. So when finally they do provide vulnerability reports, okay, so when some of these tools provide their reports in either XML or JSON formats, what you can start doing is start pushing all of these results to a vulnerability management solution, and then you can analyze all of these results together and then start fixing all of these issues from there. And finally, some of these tools also provide CI/CD integrations, and they are extremely easy to integrate as part of a CI/CD security pipeline lifecycle. So you can see here are the list of open source tools that are available. So we have Claire, Anchor, Docker Bench, and many more. So we do have this Docker Bench, and it's an interesting tool that is going to run on the host, that is going to run on your Docker containers. That is essentially an automated check for all of the CIS benchmarks for Docker. So it is going to run all of these tests against the host machine that is going to be running your Docker containers. And also we have many more tools, okay, that are both open source and some of them are commercial as well, that you can start using to ensure that your Docker deployments and your Docker containers are very much secure. So why wait? Let us dive into our hands-on part. See you there.